Happy Thursday to you. This is John McEntyre Show, live, prime time. And today is Thursday, October the 17th, 2024. And we have a show talking about retirement because so many out there, we're in the beginnings of the actual Medicare AP. So we're getting those questions when you talk Medicare, you're going to talk Social Security, you're going to talk retirement, everything surrounding it. All of those types of questions starts to come in, and, concerns and things like that. So you have to cover those, and so that's what today's show going to be about because so many people um, are talking about retirement. I have a couple of things to share. Um, but I wanted to get back into. I've been receiving a lot of wallet wins, so I wanted to make sure and share some wallet wins with everyone, and then we'll get into the topic. Then we'll do our question of the day, and then you can be on your way. Uh, hadn't done it in a long time, so I thought I'd throw that back in there. But wallet win number one, we have paid off $12,000 this year. That's more than we paid off in the past 3 years. And that is a wallet win. Excellent job with the wallet win there. Anytime you're paying this year, so 10 months, a little bit over $1,000 committed, paying off debt each month, that is a big time commitment. It doesn't matter how much your income is. Even with people, over 50% of the people that make over 100,000 a year can't do that. So that is a good thing. Wallet win number two, this is very good. I met with a career coach and she helped me update my resume so that I can get a better job. Now, that's what I call an excellent investment. That's I did a show recently about some good investments to make, and my number one investment is always to invest in yourself, education, professional, anything to promote yourself professionally, personal improvement, and a career coach is an excellent investment. I rarely see a low return on investing in a career coach. A career coach worth their salt, especially with the resume, everything. Um, you would definitely get a good return out of that. So way to go with that one. Wallet win number three, helped our kids. We helped our kids open their own high yield savings accounts. So and we're starting the process of teaching them about money. So yes, uh, I cheer for that one. We cheer for that one. That's what we're doing with our daughter. There's so many benefits to that. Number one, you're taking advantage of compound interest. They're starting at 18 by 30. You can do the numbers. They have almost as much money. What is like, uh, if they just invested $2,000 at 18, put it in the right account in an IRA, um, by 30, they'll almost have more money than a person who started at 30 and invested till 60, 65. They almost have more money because of the compound, that early compounding. It's a beast. That's why Warren Buffett calls. No, it wasn't even Warren Buffett. It was Einstein. He called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. It was actually Einstein. So who said that? So he was a smart man. So we take that. So that's one of the benefits, and uh, teaching them early about money. It's always good to start kids young. Uh, that's I learned that in the Bible and Proverbs. Train up a child in the way they should go. They'll always remember it. Uh, I believe in that. I believe in that. And there's another quote. It's easier. I'm paraphrasing the quote. It's easier to build a child than to fix an adult. So that's why it would be so beneficial. You get them on the right road of personal finance, of money early, instead of later on having to, repair credit, filing bankruptcy, foreclosures, things like that do long-term damage. And besides that, redoing, mindsets and, re-educating, unlearning, as an adult, you have to unlearn before you learn, and it may be decades of learning, maybe bad habits and bad information, things like that, poor money habits, stuff like that. You have to get all of that cleared out before you can even put the new in. Whereas you have a nice, clean, young canvas, you can paint that picture for them early and they follow it. And yes, it will seem like, it seems like you're grinding gears with them. They're not listening, but they are listening. Believe me, they are listening. I've learned that firsthand with Bella. It's things I've said and I really didn't think anything else about it. And I know that she's doing it, and that's a good thing. And the parents that I've talked to that have done the same thing with their kids, they was like, yeah, I'm convinced. I used to think they were listening, but they're doing it their way. They're doing it their way. So put that good sound personal financial training in them early. They see that, especially when they see the benefits of it. That's when they will really, really run with it. I think back when my brother and my father, people, early mentors, stuff that they poured into me early. Um, it wasn't that I wasn't listening. I was just waiting till the time that I would be able to use it. And every last bit has really paid off. So, bravo to that. So we have three excellent, and also with the kids, train them that way. They won't boomerang. You don't have to worry about the boomerang stuff. You get to keep your man cave or your woman's cave. Whatever you turn that extra bed, that empty bedroom into, you get to keep it. So that's the big one. I almost forgot, but I'm here for us. I'm going to work with us. So, three good wallet wins there for the evening. Now let's get into this topic here. Um, a topic basically is how not to run out of money during retirement, because dealing with Medicare, you're mainly dealing with what about 90% of them are actual retirees. The other group that can enroll into Medicare are people that have been disabled for 24 months. So sometimes, you're going to have people in their 20s, 18 and up. They've been disabled. They can enroll. They're receiving Social Security disability and everything, so they can enroll in the plans. But 90% of the beneficiaries, roughly 90%, are of retirement age. They're taking Social Security, and everything. Well, there was a report. A lot of people, there's a one group that really love what they do. They just don't plan to retire until they have to. They're going to work to like the 70 years old, where they have to start taking Social Security and everything like that. Uh, you have that group. Then you have the other group where the retirement age is, they can retire as early as 62. And that is that group that's planning to do it. 62, when I turned 62, I actually watched he's a news anchor today up in Rhode Island. He said, I'm checking my calendar. He said, in my 62nd birthday, I'm out. I love what I do, but I'm done. I'm finished. So you have that group. But most of the people are just that they're in that traditional mindset of retiring at 65. It's just been that magic number, you know. Start work. Most people really get serious about work at 25, and it's an old industrial mindset type thing. Start work, normally enter at around 25, and you work 40 years. It comes from that 40-year span thing is what it is. And you retire at 65, 25 to 65. It all depends. But most people have retired at 65. There's a couple of reports that have been released. I've been reading them. That's basically saying that most of the people, 45% of Americans who retire at 65 will likely run out of money before they die. Uh, and that's alarming. They basically said that they did all of these different studies. I mean, and it was across the male, female, single, married, you know, it really wasn't about ethnicities or anything like that, but it was basically the female, male, single couples, things like that. Single, it was saying that female retirees are more likely than couples and single males to run out of cash if they retire at 65. Single females, 55%. They're calculating a roughly 55% will run out. Couples, 41%. That's still kind of high for two people. Couple that have worked, the entire, 40 years or whatever. 40% is high. Single males is just 1% less than that, 40. So um, the and mainly because the males usually don't live as long. That's we also have to take into account that females are, normally live longer, a few years longer, and so that's why their percentage is a little bit higher because they're going to live longer. They need more money. And the males, the reason why it's so lower, they don't live as long, and so it's a lower percentage of them. So they came to the conclusion that probably working longer is perhaps the best way to improve the odds of not running out of money, before retiring. So as they were saying, many Americans, they're either unwilling to work late or unable to. Uh, and those are those two, the ends of the spectrum. But when we come into the middle, a lot of them, once they're educated about it, some of them like, okay, I can put in a few more years. I can do it to 70 or whatever. And just that benefit alone, just doing that extra few years, uh, for instance, Social Security roughly benefit 65 around $1,700. Work till 70, it goes up to almost 2,500 a month per month. So your benefit goes from 1,700 to 2,500, 5 extra years, along with being able to save. You're going to save some money. Your investments are going to be working much longer without you touching them. Things like that. Those other parts of your retirement income. You're building your retirement income, so you actually have some time. That extra time, so extra 5 years, done correctly, almost doubles your monthly income, which allows you to live longer without running out of money. So that was like the biggest gist of it. And it was basically saying that those that did stay work till 70, single females who were 55% if they retired at 65, they stayed to 70. It went from 55% down to 36%. That's a significant drop. Couples went from 41% down to 26%, and single males went from 40% down to 21%. So, as you can tell, that's 5 extra years, and really, as I've talked to seniors and retirees, they're like, really, 5 years is not a long time. I'm like, 5 years is not a long time at my age. They was like, when you get older, 5 years is like so fast, it's pathetic. And I've talked to some retirees, especially at the gym, a lot of those guys I have, we share, they share, they really talk, especially they know that I do this. They will tell me stuff that they normally wouldn't talk about, and it gives them a chance to talk about things that they can't talk to anyone else about. And it was like, man, it seems like I just I just retired. It seemed like it hadn't even been a year, and I bumped into a buddy. We retired at the same time, and he was like, "Oh yeah, 5 years flew by." He was like, "It's been 5 years like that." He was like, "Wow," and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I understand. It seemed like just last week, our daughter, she's turning 17 years old this year. It seemed like I just brought her home from the hospital last week, and she was starting kindergarten like the other day. But that's how time flies. So when people put it into a perspective and they see the actual return on it, it's not such a bad thing. And the good thing about it, like a lot of Americans, they've accepted that they will probably have to work longer anyway. Then there's the other group that's like, I'm going to work till I just basically kill over. I love what I do, and I'm just going to work, you know. Because I have some of them, they have those friends that retired and didn't make it long. Some of them, some of them knew they had illnesses, so they retired at 62, and they were gone by 65. things like that. So it's a lot of things to take into an account, and we'll cover those topics in later shows. But I just wanted to cover that today because that was a concern. A lot of people they're concerned about outliving their money, and it is a valid concern. Healthcare costs, going up, inflation, things like that. Those are very valid concerns. And what I like about this is that the seniors are like, tell the younger generation, you got to hammer it home, save more, spend less, invest your money. The time is going to fly by. I can remember when I was 30 and I thought I was invincible. I thought I was going to live forever and everything. And it time will fly by if you're not careful, and time. One of the guys, he was talking about some song. He was like, there's a song, "Time Waits for No One." You know, he was like, it's real. He said the reality of it is real. So that's basically what I wanted to cover tonight, is talking about that, just the benefit of, if you can add those extra years, how it could really benefit you, which takes me into the question of the day, which is, what age are you planning to retire? It's time to think about it. If you are a pre-retiree, 55, 60, something like that, between 55 and 60, it's time to think about it. Really, really start to think about it, because you have to plan. You also have to plan because you invest differently. You may not be able to be as aggressive, things like that. So you have to do, you know, um, redo your portfolios, things like that. You have to take into an account, like what I talked about yesterday, about family members talking with their older family members about their finances. Those are things to take into an account. So watch yesterday's show and understand why I'm talking about what I'm talking about today. And that is the question: what age are you planning to retire? So, that being said, I hope that the information that I gave was beneficial. And if so, make sure, share it, subscribe to the channel, talk to other people, tell other people about it, like it. If you have questions, need help, that's what we do. We look at your finances, put together a money plan for you, look at every area, make sure you're on target for whether you want to retire or there's other financial goals that you have in life. Give us a call, contact us. We can talk in person or over the phone or virtually like this over Zoom. So, with that being said, I will see you tomorrow, same time, same channels. Have a good evening.